Hi guys, welcome back to Chris's channel for this live Premier League watch along between Tottenham and Crystal Palace. Can you tell the tone is slightly less excitable today than it was on Thursday night against Bodo Glimt in the game that got us through to the final of the Europa League? As Adrian Simcock says in the comments, clash of the cup finalists, Spurs Europa League, Palace FA Cup. Also, just so you know, there'll be no graphics. Unfortunately, we're having a bit of a technical issue, but graphics for this, do we? Ange has made 8 changes once again, I think for the 3rd game in a row. And we'll go into that team news. But first, we are live on YouTube, Facebook, X, and Twitch. Please do get involved. Send your comments in. Let's watch this game together. If you're not already, make sure you subscribe to Chris Cowlin's YouTube channel, at Chris Cowlin. On YouTube. He's also at the game today, as ever. Of course, he is. So do look out for video updates on the channel throughout, and he will be posting those fan stuff as well as the post-match press conferences straight after the game. And he will be here at 5:15 on his channel, Spurs Chat Podcast, where he'll be joined by Lee Dorset Spur, Leo the Lion, and Cy the Fox. Very animal-based Spurs Chat podcast tonight. But first, Chris would like to tell you about a new app where you can win some money. Check it out. Let's go.
Hi everyone, before we get into it, I'd just like to tell you about a brand new app. It's called Match Bingo. You can play along with live sports and Spurs matches, and you could win cash prizes. Watch your card fill up in real time whilst watching Tottenham. Make sure that you get your bingo card for our next game. Click on the link in the description or via the QR code. Real sports, real bingo, great prizes. Enjoy.
I'm sure all of you Spurs fans want to fill up your cards quickly because obviously in every Spurs game, so many incidents, so many things to bet on. So far, over £200,000 has been paid out to players by taking sports betting, football and bingo and combining them all into one brilliant app. Make sure you get your bingo card for this Spurs versus Palace game. Click through the link in the description or via the QR code on the screen. Bingo cards for this game are buy 4, get 1 free. Bruno Vieira in the comments says, you sound sleepy, Barnaby, but I'm here for your game commentary skills. Saw you We Are Tottenham TV. You're great. Do you know what? I'm a bit sleepy. It was a bit of an all-day session yesterday. Even though it's the middle of the summer, I'm going to get my hat on because my hair is mad. Yes, it was my best friend's birthday yesterday, so I was there. So a little bit tired from an all-day session, but looking forward to yeah, there you go, Laren Deb. I put the hat on for you. Looking forward to a sunny kind of training ground game. I'm sure it'll be like at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But we got some pace out wide. We got some players looking to try and play their way into the first team for the final. So here is the team that Ange has picked. Kinski, my man, Kinski back in goal. He'll be here with his starting position about 30 yards outside the box. That's good. That'll help keep some pressure on Palace. He gets another chance today. I'm pleased for him. Vicario gets a rest. Pretty happy with that. Pedro Porro doesn't get a rest, though. He starts again, as does Jed Spence. Porro will be on the right, Spence on the left, and then in centre backs, Big Kev Danso and Ben Davis. And then a slightly stodgy looking midfield of Archie Gray, Pat Matassar, and Rodrigo Benziger, who captains the team today, I think, for the first time. And then in the forward line, Kulusevski, more minutes to try and get his rhythm back up. Matthias Tell will start in the 9 and Wilson Odobert. So you wouldn't expect many forward direct balls, today. With a very kind of short forward line, but who knows? Then on the bench, Vicario, Van de Ven, Romero, Sonny, Bissouma, Richarlison, Solanke, Brennan Johnson, and Mikey Moore. I do have to say that the stadium is looking resplendent in the sun today, and it does look like there's just a bit of a happy-go-lucky vibe at the stadium because everyone very excited about Bilbao a week on Thursday. Let me know in the comments, are you going to Bilbao? Have you got tickets? I haven't got one yet. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm trying to find my way out there. That is for sure. The Palace team today: Henderson, Richards, Lacroix, Gahey, Mitchell, Munoz, Hughes, Lerma, Eze, Sarr, and Mateta. And on the bench, Kapora, Devaney, Turner, Ben Chilwell. Surprised to see him on the bench. He's obviously on loan from Chelsea, isn't he? But I don't know if he's coming back for injury, but it's been a bit of a fall from grace from Ben Chilwell, who is a wing back that I rate, I have to say. But with him on the bench for Palace, Essa, Kamada, Nathaniel Klein, still playing in the Premier League, Franca, and Eddie Nketiah, the former Woolwich player. How are you guys feeling after Thursday? Did you go out after the game? I did. It's been a messy few days, frankly. But you do not get in European finals very often. Only the 6th in Tottenham's history and only the 2nd in my 35 odd years, well, a bit more, 37, 38 odd years of supporting Tottenham Hotspur. So you've got to celebrate it. I've been listening to all the podcasts. I think it's fair to say a lot of people feel similarly to me that it feels different this time to how it did when we got to the Champions League final, going to Madrid. I'm not sure any of us really felt strongly we had a good chance against Liverpool, but this does feel a bit different. Doesn't mean that I think we're definitely going to win it, but I think we have a good chance. That's what I think. In terms of today's team news, Sonny is on the bench today. So that's good news. Like to see him get a few minutes at the back end, hopefully. Archie Gray gets another chance in midfield. I think it's interesting that Richarlison is on the bench because I think that shows that he's getting a bit of a rest and he might now be the important man in terms of playing on the left-hand side of the forward line in that final. He did so well in both of those semi-final legs, really showed a physicality that gave us a little je ne sais quoi. And so I think he's jumped ahead of Sonny, really, in terms of the pecking order, potentially. Like I said, glad to see Kinski getting a go with his short sleeve top. He's a good lad, Kinski. I think he's going to be a future Spurs goalkeeper for sure. I really like the cut of his jib. Obviously, I mean, it goes without saying, the vital thing to today's game and the game against Aston Villa on Friday is no more injuries. Ange comes out of the tunnel. He's got his polo shirt on today. It's his ends, isn't it, really, when the sun's out? He loves it. A man from Greece and Australia. He loves the sun. Be interested to see how Matthias Tell does up front. He's a perfect example, really, of a perfect chance of one of those players who could, you know, if he picked up some amazing rhythm and scored a few goals today and against Villa on Friday, then he could play his way into the team, into that forward line on the left-hand side. Another question worth asking, is this a bit of an audition potentially for Oliver Glasner? I'm not going to say any negativity about Ange, just basing it on the reports. Glasner apparently is potentially on the list as a possible future Tottenham Hotspur manager. It's a good atmosphere at Spurs. I'm just going to turn the volume up. Fans loving Spurs at the moment because we're in that final, of course. This will be a good game, I would have thought. Let me know in the comments where you guys are at in terms of Ange Postecoglou if we take that trophy home from Bilbao and get in the Champions League next season. Chandy in the comments says, would have loved to have seen more start today. Sempervino's club says, I wish I could go to Bilbao, but not easy to get flights from Prague directly there. Yeah, I mean, I think the best chance of going to Bilbao are probably by making your way via various cities. I'm even looking at the possibility of potentially driving there. Let's see what happens, though. Still a week and a few days. And funny things happen in the days leading up to a big final. I'm just seeing some stuff on X. Looks like they had a kind of Caribbean band outside the stadium before the game today. I'm just reading an interesting quote. Jurgen Klinsmann talked about how there was a fight between Sonny and Lee Kang-in when he was South Korea manager. He said Kang-in did a bad joke and realized it a bit too late, and Son started to beat him up. The spirit was out of the window within 15 seconds. Oliver Glasner has said this. Congratulations to Ange Postecoglou and Tottenham for reaching the Europa League final. Tottenham had many injuries, many games to play, and I think they had many storms to overcome. It's part of our job, but in the end, I really have a huge appreciation for Ange and how he dealt with the situation. That's very nice. And I'm sure a lot of you saw yesterday Harry Kane and Eric Dyer picking up their first trophies as footballers. And there are some good pictures of Harry on the pitch with his 3 kids and his wife. And he was pretty happy. Unfortunately, I did hear him say, I hope to win many more trophies for this great club. That's the wrong thing, Harry. I think what you mean there is you hope to win many more trophies with Tottenham Hotspur. But there you go. So let me know in the comments, guys, what are your predictions for today's scoreline? Like I said, I think it'll probably be a bit of a training game, a bit of a nothing, and probably lose. We'll probably lose. I don't know. I'm just, whilst talking to you guys, also trying to sort out the technical issue. And the trumpeter plays. Dave Bertazan shouldn't have been so stubborn and single-minded regarding the league. I assume you're talking about his style of play. But if he were to win the Europa League, would you then accept him getting his third season of his contract if he said, okay, I'll play more like I do in the Europa League in the Premier League? And then what happens if we start getting bad results like that, like Conte and Jose did? So it's a bit of a difficult dance, isn't it? But like I said, no negativity. Who cares? No negativity. Some Spurs fans have put a merci PSG banner at the Spurs stadium, but stewards have taken it down apparently. Boo. Okay, so Palace are shooting left to right in the first half. It's about to kick off, so you'll see how much delay I'm on. So I'm going to come out of the comments, so pause it until you're level with me so we can watch it at the same time. Just going to the other feed, see if I can get a better feed. Okay, the game has started on this other feed. Spurs kick from right to left. And a good early touch here on the right-hand side for Wilson Odobert. Goes back to Pedro Porro, brings it forward. Oh, good ball down the line to Odobert from Porro. Holds the ball up in the right-hand channel. And then Porro, oh, gets to the byline. Here we go. Oh, he tries to cut back. It's an early corner for Spurs. So who'll be on this corner? Porro, I guess. Outswinger, it'll be. Palace fans sounding good as ever. They're good fans, Palace fans. Here comes the outswing. It's poor one. Hits the first man at the front post. And it comes all the way back to Kinski, who gives it to Jed Spence, I would have thought. Oh, no, he's going to try the long ball. He's a lovely distributor, Kinski. Oh, just picked off by the fullback, unfortunately. And then Sarr loses the ball in midfield, unfortunately. Will Hughes now has some space for Palace. So out wide left, and Palace get the ball down. They like to play with a 3 at the back, Palace. And now they've got a lot of space out wide on the left. Oh, bad ball, though. It looks like Kulusevski's actually playing in the false 9 and Tell on the left. Oh, that's good. I like to see that. Tell now coming down the left-hand side, looking bright. Into the box now, tries the cross, but it's deflected through to the keeper, Dean Henderson. 700 of you watching at the moment, guys. Thanks so much. Please do give this video a like if you haven't already. Henderson still has the ball. And Henderson goes long down the middle. Ben Davis gets up for that one, but he's beaten in the air. And then Danso clears the second ball into midfield. Sarr is beaten in the air. Mateta gets it down. Palace working in the channel now on the right-hand side. Oh, some good football from Palace. And a cross comes into the back. Chance at the back post. And it's saved by Kinski. And he had Porro around him as well. And in the end, actually, who is it? I mean, it was pretty... Oh, Spurs have given it away already. We're definitely back in our Premier League role style. And Spurs have lost the ball again. Ball coming in. And Kinski comes to claim it at the near post. Good solid start from Antonin Kinski. And he throws it out first time to the right-hand side. And now Big Kev Danso gets it across to Ben Davis. Out to Jed Spence. Plays a nice ball in towards Decky, who holds it up nicely and gives it to Bentancur. He's now making a run down the left and holds it up nicely. Well done. Comes back to Davis. Good stuff from Spurs. Danso now. and he lays it out to Pedro Porro, just coming over the halfway line. He tries a chip over the top. I think it was Tell, had made an out-to-in run, but it just goes straight through to Dean Henderson. Oh, well done in midfield from Archie Gray. And then he plays it to the left to Tell. He's outside the box, and then bad decision from Tell, but well done, Archie Gray. Oh, Mateta working hard, but Porro deals with it. Gets the ball back to Kinski. I love Kinski, modern day keeper. But he's young, so his shot stopping will improve over time, I'm sure. Davis plays a big one down the line into the channel. And the second ball comes to Tell, who holds it up. Good stuff. Spence plays it down the line now to Sarr. He tries a ball into the box towards Kulusevski, but it's cleared out by Mark Gay, who, of course, is on Tottenham's list. They tried to sign him back in January, if rumours are to be believed. Throw into Spurs. Spence with it. Goes backwards to Davis. To Danso, and then out wide right to Porro. Comes back to Kev. Spurs just on the halfway line now with Ben Davis. Out to Jed Spence. And again, Davis bringing it out to the right via Danso. But again, Porro comes back narrow. Palace in a good shape. So Spurs just trying to move the ball around, really. Davis goes straight to Tell this time, who tries something and loses it. And then Kulusevski gives away a foul in midfield. He gives away a lot of fouls, Decky, doesn't he? 5 minutes gone. Again, as with these last few Premier League games, just a real kind of pre-season vibe about them. On the beach. Comes all the way back to Henderson for Palace. He gives it to centre half. Now Will Hughes drops into the centre-back line to make up another man. And Palace get out very easily. And the Spurs fans singing do shame about the Arsenal. Yeah, no Adam Wharton today, is there? That's a shame. He's a good player. Palace keep playing it around and then go long up to Mateta, who flicks it on. He's so good in the air, Mateta. But Bentancur does well, wings it back, gives it to Spence, who goes back to Kinski. And Kinski kind of daring the Palace front three to come and get it off him. But they're not. They're kind of staying outside the 18-yard box, so eventually he goes wide to Porro. He could give it inside and does eventually to Gray. Goes down the line into Decky. And then he goes back down the line to Gray, and that's good stuff. And Gray gives it down the line in an attempt to get Odebear in, but it's easily dealt with by the, I think that's Lacroix, the left-sided centre-half for Palace. Oh, good ball into Mateta here. And Palace breaking forward with Eza. And he finds him in wide right. Really big chance for Palace here in the box. Goal. And that's how easy it is against Spurs. That's how easy it is. Sarr with the goal. It was just a couple of balls. Yeah, the co-commentator saying how easy it was. Eventually it comes to the right from Eza, and then the cross is perfect and easy, frankly. Just a very easy goal. At the back post, of course. No surprise. Oh, it's been disallowed. Well, that is mad because it shouldn't be. So which one's offside? Is it the first ball that's offside? It's the first ball that's offside. So all the way back on the halfway line. Lucky Spurs. So lucky old Tottenham. But we'll take it. Oh, Spurs have given it away in midfield again. Anyway, 10 minutes gone. Still 0-0 somehow. Palace are... they've definitely got better shape than Spurs. They basically line up with 3 in the forward line when they've got the ball and just trying to play into the channels. Danso deals with that, gets it down the line. I'll tell you what isn't happening, and I guess I'm not hugely surprised. Tell and Odebear, just zero interest in kind of defending backwards, really. And therefore, that's why it was so easy for them to get out wide. Whereas when we play in the Europa League, you know, we're all defending, you know, we're all putting in a shift, about 30% more defensively. And that's why we look so much tighter. But Ben Davis gives away a free kick on the halfway line. I'll tell you what, it does not look offside at all. He looked like he was in his own half. Oh, they nearly got through again, but Kinski dives at the feet. Good save by Kinski there. Gets it wide to Tell, who's going to lose it straight away here. I would have thought, no, he does well to hold it up, but then, yeah, he does well in the end, Tell. And Spurs try a ball down the channel to Odebear, but he's easily being dealt with at the moment by Gay. And they've always got a pass on Palace, although that's one well in midfield by Sarr. And Kulusevski driving into the box has a dig on the right foot. Deflected wide. I like Lacroix. I think he's a good player, good centre half. I think he scored against us in the other game. Decky looks like he took a little bit of a knock there. Corner near post, flicked on. Ball still in the air. Bit of head tennis here, and eventually it's headed by Danso into Henderson's hands. 13 minutes gone. 1,000 of you watching now, guys. Thank you so much. Please do press like. Do subscribe to Chris's channel and my channel too. You can see bottom left-hand corner there at Barnaby Slater _. Kevin 40k asks who captain is today. That is Bentancur. Doug Hill says, I suspect Spencer's disinterested. He'll leave at the end of the season if Andrew remains. I hope he doesn't. He needs to show that his form wasn't just a flash in the pan, and he can't argue because Udogie and Porro are playing so well in Europe. It's just the reality of it. Ball comes back to Henderson. He finds such an easy ball into midfield. And once again, 4, if not 5 Spurs players just have been bypassed with 2 passes by Palace. So easy for them. Eza now. I love that player. And he gets them in down the left. They're at the byline now. Cross to the back. Chance on the volley. Saved by Kinski. Oh, Kinski. Ooh. You got lucky there, Kinski, a little bit. I guess the ball was spinning and he nearly... Anyway, the co-commentator saying rightly how Palace are just getting in with their wing-backs the whole time. And it's completely true. And I think Decky's gone down again there. It was a really hard tackle in midfield. One of those ones where you have to be going fully 50-50. And I don't think he was. He was a bit half-hearted there. Let's hope Kulusevski doesn't get injured here. But Spurs are a little bit 50% off at the moment, as they have been for so long. Yeah, Kulusevski is down. Yeah, he was holding his back before this. Then he kind of lands on his back again.
Against Crystal Palace, scored officially the first Premier League goal in this stadium against Crystal Palace. A 2-0 win of Christian Eriksen.
Kulusevski coming back. Onto the pitch. Sonny is on the bench, of course. Decky looks all right. He doesn't look great, actually. He hasn't come back on the pitch quite yet. I think just don't take a risk with him, really. That's going to be a goal kick to Palace. Bring Mikey Moore on, yeah. Decky is, it's his knee that Decky is kind of worried about. Rishi looking over. Yeah, Mikey Moore's going to come on. Fans will be happy with that. Moore, if I remember rightly, did start the game against Palace away. Didn't do much. Tottenham's kind of narrow, wide players just not dealing with the width of the Crystal Palace wing-backs at all at the moment. 18 minutes gone, though. 0-0, but only because Palace's goal was disallowed. And Decky has gone down officially now with his knee. Another injury for Spurs. He's walking off bullishly, so hopefully it's just... So I guess what will happen now is Tell will move into the 9 and Moore will play on the left. Come on, Mikey. Make a name for yourself, kid.
The circumstances not ideal, but for him, a chance to impress as Kulusevski makes his way straight down the tunnel.
Yeah, he'll drop over to his favoured left side position, the right-footed player. On the left-hand side, coming inside the pitch, and tell.
Palace go long again. Davis wins the first header. Bentancur flicks it on. Palace win the next one and the next one. Danso gets a big head on the next one into midfield. Sarr challenges. Tell's never going to win that. And then Tell does actually win a free kick in midfield. And he's gone down.
The heads as McQuarrie tries to head the ball. It's pretty warm out there today. It's a nice breeze around the stadium if you're in the shade, but direct sunlight is carrying a bit of heat today.
Spence on the ball, keeps it and goes backwards. Spurs are doing a lot. Into Archie Gray, goes backwards, and some buffering. So now I'm with Kevin Danso. He goes out wide to Porro. Spurs making inroads down the right hand side, but I've lost my stream. Okay, Danso to Porro inside. Oh no, now it's Porro. And we've lost the ball. Is it Odebear's lost the ball? And Gay gets it down. Odebear nearly runs it back, but Palace are able to clear it long. That's a good ball into the channel. Ben Davis comes across, but isn't strong enough. That should be a Spurs throw. Let's see what the other scores are at the moment. Newcastle beat Chelsea 2-0. United 0, West Ham 0, Forest 0, Leicester 1. Wow, Jesus, Forest. It's all getting a bit much for you, isn't it? Porro is just going to throw it down the line at some point. There it goes. Won easily by Palace. Then Archie Gray in midfield. Cleared down the line by Palace. That will be a goal kick to Spurs. It's just showing James Maddison in his box with his family. Sarr tried to make a break in behind there. Spence then with a 50-50. Tell loses out to Will Hughes and Tell stays down again. Palace have the ball though. And Palace kick it out because Tell has remained down. What a bitty, boring game so far. Just injuries after injuries. Don't know what happened to Tell there. He's back up. I think Tell's going to be okay. Tell looks okay. And Palace start again. The ball goes down the line to Eza. Danso's with him. He's so graceful on the ball, Eza. Comes inside down so easily. And again, still got it, Eza. And then tries a big, long crossfield. What a beautiful cross ball. It's headed back across the box, but Kinski claims it pretty simply. But Eza, what a player. I feel like we probably missed our chance with him. Maybe we could have got him last summer. I feel like there'll be bigger clubs up for him this summer. Skinski goes for a big, long, straight one over the top, but that's easily dealt with by Palace. And now they've got so much space in midfield, Palace. And they've got 3 up as well. And they've come out wide right with Munoz. Another good cross to the back post. Brought down by Porro, but it goes off for a corner. Yeah, this is interesting, actually. He's right, the co-commentator. Spurs are not getting to grips with the wing-backs. And you've got to think that against Man United, we will be playing against wing-backs. So, going to have to find a way to deal with formation like this. All the chances coming from crosses, as has been our whole season, really. Here comes the corner. It comes to the back post, headed by Palace across the box. Another head. Oh, good save by Kinski there. Wow. Just so easy for Palace. Tottenham just about 40% off it here. So the corner came to the back post. Palace win the first header, comes across, then cleared by Danso. Then a second header, and he's, really important save from Kinski. He's only 3 yards out. I think it's Mateta. Really good save. Kinski made himself really big, and that was vital. Palace will have another corner. It's only a matter of time until they score, you would have thought, and Tottenham have not made anything. Here it is. Cleared just ahead of Kinski by Bentancur. Comes back out to Eze. He's going to whip in another corner. Oh, he doesn't. He might have a shot here. Nah. Actually ends up going out for a throw-in. Tell gives a good ball into Bentancur, opens his body up and finds Danso. Porro now. Odegaard has to drop short for him, and he does. As soon as Tottenham get the ball, it just goes slow, slow, slow. Because Palace just get back into their kind of... What formation is it they're playing? Spurs playing backwards. Like literally, Palace just happily pressing us all the way backwards here. And finally, Dancer then goes over into the channel. And it's cleared by, I think, Mitchell, yeah, for a throw into Spurs. Spurs taking their time to take a throw. Tell's made a move for Porro. Porro gets it back. And he tries to find Tell again, but it's blocked for another throw-in. Archie Gray back to Porro, and Spurs being pushed backward straight away. But that's a good ball over to Jed Spence. Opens his body up. And finds Moore. It's his first touch. Finds Spence again, and Spence loses it straight away. He does look pretty disinterested. Spence, he is working hard to get back. But Palace are in down the right now with Munoz. Has a shot. Hits the bar. Over. Hits the bar and goes over. He really hit it well, Munoz. It hits the bar. Spurs getting absolutely dominated here. Ben Davies goes long to Mikey Moore, who does well. And then Spence keeps it on, gets it back to Kinski. Tottenham, I mean, this stodgy centre midfield with no creativity, you know, is not surprisingly not breeding any creativity. Porro goes down the line. Tell chases Henderson, who deals with it pretty comfortably. But then, nearly closed down by Moore, but Palace pretty comfortable. So they get it down the line. Danso did well initially against Eza, but then unfortunately lost it. And they've chipped one down the middle in between the two centre-backs. Ben Davies eventually kind of deals with it, but then Archie Gray gives it away, and they're in. They're in. One-on-one, Munoz. He passed it. Wow. Munoz was one-on-one. He passed it, and then he was offside when he passed it anyway. Tottenham are just dog shit today. I'm not surprised, but still hard to watch. Chips it up to Bentancur midfield, who chips one over, but Palace first to every second ball. Archie Gray goes in strong. Good lad. Gives away a free kick. Don't mind that. But he's not in this game at the moment, Archie Gray, to say the least. I'm just showing Glasner looking unhappy on his bench, asking, presumably, his coaches why Munoz just tried to pass when he was one-on-one with the keeper. Far too unselfish. Palace win a header. Another chance headed into Kinski's arms. Spurs are giving the ball away again, and they're in down the right again. Sarr. Well played, Ben Davies. Deflects it, blocks it over the bar. Jed Spence not even in the picture. He is not even in the picture there. Deary me. It is. The co-commentator saying it as to how it's too easy for Palace here. Anyway, another corner for them. It's just a matter of time until Palace score. They should be about 4 up here. It's another deep corner, and they win the first one. Kinski has to make a save again. Palace again pick up the next ball, and Kinski there claims this one. And he wants to do something quick, but he shouldn't. We need to chill out. And he goes for the long one over the top. Tell's on his own. His touch nearly took him over his man. And now he's having a go at Kinski. Well, that hit the bar. Was that saved by Kinski, or did that hit the bar as well? Oh, no, it does save it. Deary me. Tottenham just awful. Palace in again. In down the middle. And he nearly, Mateta flicks it in, but it's... How quickly is it happening? It's just so easy. So Mateta was in again. Danso gets the touch on it. And it'll be another corner. Deary me, this is so horrible. What game was it we had last week? I was saying it was the West Ham game, the worst game we've ever seen. This is the worst performance by a Tottenham team I've ever seen. There we go. We won ahead of that. Comes back in. Oh, and the ball brought back in, and then Spence just passes it straight to Palace. And it's another corner. Tottenham just jogging about here. Not sure what more Spence could have done maybe there. Another corner. This will be presumably put to the back post again, will it? That's what they've done for every corner they've had, of which there have been about 6. Oh, they actually go short with this one to Hughes. And then another ball to the back post, but it goes straight off. This is very much like Spurs are now in an A and B team situation where the B team just do not fancy it at all, but are having to still play games. Kinski's gone long again, and none of that has worked. He's tried that a few times. Let's just try and get Mikey Moore on the ball. Spence blocked a ball down the line there. Well done, mate. 11 attempts in this half for Palace, 5 on target. 3 from Spurs, 1 on target. I don't even remember those 3. We're at home. Bentancur forced backwards. Davis to Gray, who's not really been in this game. He goes backwards. Danso, he's only got one pass option really. It's Porro. So he goes there. He's now pressed. So Porro has to go long over the top. Odebear just doesn't seem like he wants to sprint early at all here. So Gay easily deals with him, but Odebear gets a foot in actually. And then that goes off for a Palace throw. Why don't we try and get the ball at Odebear and Moore's feet and say to them, just go and take your man on. Why not? Bentancur gets a bit of a hit in the face there, but he gives away a free kick at the same time. Oh, and he got booked for that. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if he even saw he got booked there because he was running away when it happened. "36 minutes. I think it's fair to say that if we got to half-time 0-0 here, it would be criminal. It's interesting, isn't it? Glasner, I mean, I guess they haven't had the Thursday night game, but he hasn't really made any changes. He's got his first team out. Spurs really are just a one team for the Premier League, one team for the Europa League team now. That's how we do it. Palace just knocking it around. Find their way in down the right very easily again with Munoz. Tries the early cross. Cleared, and then Tell hacks one clear on the volley. I'm not sure how much Matthias Tell is going to be desperate to stay at Spurs after this season, to be honest. Good block there from Tell, though. Did some work going backwards. Good lad. Palace just easily dominating this game. Tottenham miles off it. Absolutely miles off it. Alistair Gold on Twitter saying, Jed Spence having a tough time out there at the moment, getting caught in possession or out position a few times. Palace getting so much joy down his flank. That is an understatement. Kinski has the ball at his feet. Spence throw. Moore made a run for him, but Spence ignored him. Spence He's not up for this at all, Jed. Goes down the line to Tell, tries to flick it on, but we lose it. And Palace just deal with it so easily. Spurs are, honestly, it's just like, it's like Palace are playing like a League Two side. Oh, but now the ball breaks to Tottenham. And Archie Gray tries to find a ball to Odegaard. Oh, dear. Kicks it straight out of play. Oof. Yeah. Co-commentator saying it's a tough afternoon for him so far. He's getting dominated in midfield. Doesn't really look like he knows what he should be doing when. But he wins the ball back there. Gives it to Porro. And straight away, just Palace are just far more up for this. And in every 50-50, or even when Spurs have the ball, they're getting knocked off it so easily by Palace. So it's just not a good performance. Spurs are just literally wandering about. It's so easy for Palace, my God. Ben Davies does well in midfield there. Gave it to Odegaard and he went on a second run. And Odegaard just went backwards. Yeah, great. Into Odegaard's feet. Spence being put under some pressure, so he goes back to Davis. Kicks it straight off the pitch. Ben Davis having a bit of a go at Jed Spence there. Palace haven't beaten Spurs at our place since 1997, as Tell gives away a foul. 4 minutes till half time. Palace play like good Conte ball. They all know what they're supposed to do. They're really well drilled. Bentancur works hard backwards there. He clears it. Really good play from Rodrigo. Oh, well, Sarr just fouled his man. I mean, he did slip. It was an accident, but he still fouled him and then gives a horrible pass away. And Ez has got it now. And they're going to be in down the left here, Palace. Although Ez is going to have a shot. And it goes wide, but the Kinski was rooted. It deflected wide. And I think this is close. They're just showing the angle now. Who is it? Danso gets a clip on it. And it's quite well wide in the end, actually. Tottenham are fucking awful. Oh, dear. Honestly. Real relegation fodder this. Not that we can go down, but just an awful team. Oh, goal. But it's been disallowed, has it, for a foul on Kinski? Looked like Kinski was being blocked. But it's whether... So Kinski is pushed by Mateta, and then it hits... It's actually, I think, disallowed because it hits the Palace players. It hits Gay's arm. It was going in, and then it hits Gay's arm. Oh, dear. Kinski was nowhere near it, and they're not going to get it disallowed for that. I don't know why that's disallowed. It's going in anyway. What's the difference? Anyway. Tottenham's so lucky. But Gay was Kinski was totally nowhere near the ball there from that corner. Tottenham lose the first header. Then Davis tries to find Bentancur. And Sarr is second to it. Honestly, if you're Ange here, he should be shouting at this lot that they're playing for their Tottenham careers at halftime, because they are not putting any effort in at all. Just second to everything. And Palace have got a cup final as well. So, you know, you can't say it's because they don't want to get injured, because none of these Palace players will want to get injured either. Oh, and they're in down the right here. Palace. Again, another one-on-one. Bentancur's working back. He might get sent off here, Bentancur. He's in. He's in. Oh, brilliant football. And Eza scores. And like I said, they fully deserve it. And it's come down Spence's side again. Deary me. But where is Jed Spence? So they just win one ball. Oh, he might be offside again. He might be offside again. If not, it's because Ben Davis is keeping him on at the back. If they're offside again, that would be 3 goals disallowed and a half. It would be so embarrassing. It's close. I wonder if this one might just be on. I think Ben Davis is accidentally keeping him on. I'd actually feel sorry for Palace if this was disallowed. Looks like it's not going to be offside because they're running it on. Goal stands. Do you know what? I know it sounds weird, but I'm pleased for Palace. They deserve it. Tottenham have been absolutely embarrassing this half. So Palace should be like 4 or 5 up. This is just an abject display. And a lot of the Spurs fans have gone in for half time. Wouldn't surprise me. There's 4 minutes added. Wouldn't surprise me if Palace score another one before half time. Oh, and Jed Spence there turns on the ball. Well done, kid. And then tries a ball down the line to Tell. But it goes straight through to the keeper. Spence wins a header. Mikey Moore tries to flick it over his man, but he's beaten to the ball. Spence then gets in. Tell tries to hold the ball up and go down the line. But Lacroix deals with him quite simply. Mikey Moore then. Oh, good skill for Mikey. Oh, lovely for Mikey Moore. And then Tell is fouled. And he does get it from the ref. So this is a chance just outside the box for Spurs on the left edge. So Porro's going to take this. Looks like he wants to shoot. I think he's going to try and go over the 2-man wall here. Here it comes. He does shoot. And it's just over the bar. Good effort. It was a good effort, that. If I was Ange, I'd take Porro off at half-time. We cannot risk getting him injured. Not with, also, especially not with Spence playing the way he's playing. He is clearly livid that he's not in the team anymore. And I'm intrigued to hear what the Spurs fans sound like at half-time of this. Second to every ball. Ball goes back to Henderson. We've had 4 minutes added. Oh. And that's half-time. Some boos, but really, I guess, just a lot of apathy from the Spurs fans. I'm kind of reticent to go into what happened in that half because it's so bad. So I'm just going to go to the comments, I guess. Nick in Hong Kong says, can't win a header. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Grayson Peace says, no balls, this lot. Yeah, we do have a super chat here from Ryan Perry. Thank you, mate. He says, who's your selection on next manager and when? Oh, and Porro is just having a little bit of a scrap there with Vicario. Just a verbal. Who's my selection on next manager? I have to say, I've tried not to be negative at all today because obviously we're in a European final, but his performances like that, and yes, he's made 8 changes, but his performances like that are going to get Ange the sack because there's just no belief that he can ever pick a team that isn't his kind of first team that can get results. And we've just been absolutely played off the pitch by Crystal Palace. And Glasner, it's a good audition for Glasner this, you know. I don't know if Glasner would be interested in leaving Palace for Spurs, but it's a great audition because just with organisation and a clear team who know exactly what they're doing on every, you know, in every part of the pitch, it's making Ange look a bit embarrassing. And the players out there today, they are just jogging about. They're not interested. They kind of know. We've had this for years, haven't we? Kind of whenever we've played kind of A teams and B teams or mix and match teams, Tottenham just never, ever do well. You can go all the way back to like, what was it? Was it when we were in the Conference League or the Europa League, maybe under Jose? And did we lose to Vitesse or something? We played a full B team. And then Ben Davies, I think, came out and said after the manager had been sacked that, you know, that doesn't give you any belief that you're actually a part of the team or squad in any way. Well, that's happening today. And Jed Spence is the main person that I keep seeing totally out of position, not working hard. And Alistair Gold saw it. He mentioned it on X as well. So in answer to your question, Ryan, maybe Oliver Glasner. Maybe, because Spurs are looking for Premier League experience, teams who can play good football with organisation, more organisation than Big Ange has. And Glasner, for that 45 minutes at least, very good audition. Windrider says Odebear isn't tracking back once. Yeah, I agree. And nor is Tell, nor is Spence really. Tell a little bit more, I guess. Matt Richardson says Spence is always far too far up the field. Patricia Gray says, what is the halftime score? It is 1-0 to Crystal Palace. Sorry, we don't have any graphics today. There's a bit of a technical issue. Windride says, if Ange gets sacked before the final, I'm done with Miss Levy. He won't get the sack before the final. Scarlett is not on the bench today. Kulich just asked. The Swiss Aviator says, we shouldn't have to always play our A-team players and rely on them so much. Alistair Nicholson says, OMG, always so negative. Alistair, mate, listen, I really appreciate your comment, but you cannot have watched that game and found anything to be positive about. We're literally getting, you know, I'm just calling the game based on what I see. It's literally like we're the under 10s. We're getting dominated by Crystal Palace. And again, it just shows if you're a few percentage points off, we're about 25-30% off today, and we're getting dominated. And we will lose the game 4 or 5-0 if we put in a performance like that in the second half. We'll lose 4 or 5-0 at home to Crystal Palace. Coolidge says Davis is finished, too slow. Spence is a massive liability. Gray too soft, no quality up front. But this is basically our B team. Onwards to Bilbao. That's true. Windrider says, how the hell Tell got to Bayern is beyond my understanding. He's not having a great game. Honor Permo says, Kinski is eccentricity 20. Yeah. Sorry, Patricia Gray. No scoreboard today, I'm afraid. So we've got a graphical problem. Lane Onto says, Spence is terrible. He's having a bad game. NM says, Ange out no matter what the Europa result. Ange out. Banao says, should be 5. How can this manager keep his job? Zane says, wow, our B team is terrible compared to our normal starting line. Kinski seriously keeping us in this game. I mean, he hasn't made great saves, but he has had to make saves. I mean, we've got Villa away on Friday. What will that score end up being? Because they actually are playing for something. Whereas, you know, Palace, I mean, other than Premier League positions, Palace aren't really. They're just playing for their cup final. I'll go through what notes I made in that first half. We did win a corner in the first minute after some half decent work from Porro and Odebear on the right. Kinski made his first save in the second minute, a chance from a cross at the back post. Kel's surprise. 4th minute, good stuff from Gray intercepting a pass. And then Tell, unfortunately, ballsed up a good situation, trying to play a ball over the top when he actually had a bit of space outside the box. Palace scored their first disallowed goal in the 8th minute. I've just written so easy, just a couple of balls. Eza to Munoz, easy cross, disallowed. Spurs very lucky. 11th minute, a good diving save at the striker's feet from Kinski, very important. 12th minute, Sarr won the ball up high. Kulusevski drove into the box, had a right foot shot, but was deflected wide. 14th minute, Kinski made another save, but he nearly messed it up. The ball was spinning and kind of spun out of his hands, but just claimed it on the second attempt. 17th minute, Mikey Moore comes on for Kulusevski. Looked like he's got a bit of a knee issue there. Let's hope that it's nothing too bad and they're just being safe. 25th minute, big save from Kinski from Mateta after a melee from a corner. He made himself big at the near posts. That was a good save, to be fair. 28th minute, Munoz shot hits the bar and goes over after Spence lost the ball too easily around the halfway line. 29th minute, I've made a note just to say Spurs are so terrible. Palace should score again. Munoz passes when he should shoot, offside. 30th minute, another header straight at Kinski. 31st minute, Palace in again. Davis blocked the shot over the bar. Then Kinski has to save again from the corner. Spurs are second to everything. 32nd minute, Mateta in again. Danso got a block on it, so it goes wide. 33rd minute, another corner. Davis clears. 41st minute, Sarr gave the ball away. Eza shot deflected wide by Danso. 43rd minute, another goal for Palace disallowed by the ref. Spurs so lucky. A handball on the line by Palace from a ball that was already going in. And then you'd think, okay, you got lucky. It's the 43rd minute. Just don't give anything up. 45th minute, goal, Palace. Spencer's side again. He's not interested. I've written Eza scores from Munoz cross. Tottenham embarrassing. And then we did have a free kick in added time, but we didn't score from it. Porro actually hit a pretty good free kick, I'd say. But unfortunately, just over the bar. Theo Shilton says, Ange has done nothing to justify being kept on in the position. We played no one of note in the Europa League, and whilst I'd be happy if we win, Ange is not good enough for the Premier League. Size is going to go well, says Odebear might be worse than Brennan. Well, the thing with Odebear is I'd just like to see him, just if I was Ange, I'd just say, every time you get the ball, just try and take your man on. But he doesn't. He's not given the time. Basically, I think the Palace formation is just easily dealing with our wide players. JH says Kinski's like Bambi on ice and a deer in the headlights. Michael Hodgson says, I believe the lads still have plenty to play for in the league. Like what? Stephen Wilson says, give Klopp the stadium naming rights to Travago Stadium. It's weird that some people have been talking about Klopp. Klopp said when he left Liverpool, I'll never manage another English team. So Klopp is not going to be manager of Spurs. Lubed by Levy says, we're pony under this Greek-Australian. Blank. Swiss Aviator says, you can't blame Ange fully for this. The players just can't be bothered. Well, you said can't be bothered to score. I just think they kind of can't be bothered. Honor Permo says there's a mentality issue within the squad. I think that's fair to say. Verdner says, my fire stick has gone down, so I'm relying on your commentary. I would say, actually, you're kind of lucky that your fire stick has gone down. I wish mine would go down. It's horrible to watch this. Michael Hodgson says, I think... So Michael is clearly Ange in. Fair enough. I think Ange needs in a summer rebuild, one more depending result of Europa after 17-year wait. League is irrelevant now. It's just a jog around whilst we are not getting relegated. Phil Bill says Sarr and Gray awful today. That is an understatement. And Sarr's going to go well. Says Sarr is playing. I haven't noticed. Windrider says it's just baffling that these young players try harder when they get the chance. I guess you mean don't try harder when they get a chance. There's no passion out there, no skill at all. I think it's just like apathy spreads, doesn't it? So if I guess if you're in the team and you can tell that there are players who just aren't really bothered, then part of you, it kind of rubs off on you a bit, and therefore the other players aren't bothered either. Anyway, I'll tell you what I'll do. seeing as the game is so boring, how about a chance to win some money? Chris will tell you how.
Hi everyone, before we get into it, I'd just like to tell you about a brand new app. It's called Match Bingo. You can play along with live sports and Spurs matches, and you could win cash prizes. Watch your card fill up in real time whilst watching Tottenham. Make sure that you get your bingo card for our next game. Click on the link in the description or via the QR code. Real sports, real bingo, great prizes. Enjoy.
There we go. You can just go to the description box or run your phone over that QR code. It's buy 4 cards, get 1 free, and £200,000 has been given out by Match Bingo. So maybe you could win some money too. Winning some money off this absolute dross fest would be the only thing worth doing, frankly, at the moment. Phil Bill says, it's sad that I'm so used to losing now, home and away. Yep, completely. I actually saw Palace play at the Etihad a few weeks ago, and they should have been 3-0 up. And they're really good. And they're playing that way today, and they should be 5-0 up. And maybe they will be in the second half. Mike Warmington says, did Mikey Moore even come on? William P says, we have 4 young players in the middle. Too many. You need some men, not boys in the middle. Yeah, it is a bit like that, isn't it? And Zero the Hero wants to go in even harder. So some of these players deserve fines for bad sportsmanship, literally not even trying. Dearie me. And Alex Decker says, what a horrible showing. Theo says, we as fans are also apathetic. Barnaby, there's nothing to feel about this team. As I said before, I'll be over the moon if we win the Europa, but this team needs gutting and rebuilding with a new manager. I think you'd say, I'm sorry, but I think you would say that pound for pound, man for man, the Crystal Palace squad is not as good as the Tottenham squad. They've got a lot of physicality about them, which often, certainly anywhere away from the first team, Spurs don't really have. But so the reason I'm saying that is because I think a manager like Glasner would look at those Tottenham players and think, oh, if I can get these organised like I have done at Palace, then I could do good things with them. And maybe where Glasner would be good. Don't forget, Conte, with this kind of system, got Spurs 4th in his first season. It was really just Conte's inability to get the players to like him that really, and the fans with his kind of madness that ruined it for him. So maybe Glasner, who seems to be a more amiable chap and also has won the Europa League and has shown at Palace in the Premier League that he knows what he's doing. For me, he is top of the list for me now. I think in the summer. But also, I'm going to say this. I think it's going to piss some of you off. I think if Ange wins the Europa League, he absolutely has the right to go into a meeting with Levy and say, look, when I have my first team available, you see how difficult we are to beat. You see what we are able to do in the Europa League. Here are some of my results. 4-0 at the Etihad, 3-0 at Old Trafford, etc., etc. But so he has the right to say that. But if I was Daniel Levy and he's saying that to me, I said, yeah, but why are the players injured so much? That is also down to some of your training. So that's all I'm saying. But for me, and it's not just recency bias, I just think Glasner's done an amazing job at Crystal Palace. And anyway, here are the stats. 57% to Palace, 43 to us. 15 shots to Palace, 4 to us. 7 on target for them, 1 to us. 2.03 expected goals to Palace, 0.11 for us. We're getting absolutely crucified. I'm actually going to text my Palace fan now. Chandy says, I take Glasner over Frank. Complex says, is this the woke Spurs fans? You all Ange in. William P says, Spence lolling around, sadly. We're always chasing players, hardly ever on the man. It's true. Alex Deck says, they're not better than us, but where is our shape? Where is our ability to play an accurate pass? Passing is negligent. Well, just all the passing is backwards and sideways. Honestly, it's just, it's ugly. But there you go. Sumo is coming on. Another player we cannot afford to get injured. And also, I don't see how he's really going to change a game like this. I'd love to be wrong. Here come the players. What Ange could do, and look, it didn't work when he tried it at Everton, but it might suit Archie Gray a bit more. He could drop Archie Gray into a back three, play Porro and Davies as the wing backs. Mind you, he'd have to bring on another centre half for that, wouldn't he? So no, so he could play Porro and Spence, as the wing backs. Davis as the left hand centre half, and then just try and like, is it Bentancur off? Yeah, Bentancur off for Basuma. Ezra's such a lovely player. God, I'd do anything for us to get him. It reminds me of Chrissy Waddle back in the day. What a player. The Spurs kick off towards the south stand. I can tell you this, most of the people in the east stand currently still in the bars. Oh, Tottenham play some football down the line and Odebear's in. Tries to cut it back. That's a throw-in. That was the first time we saw him in a decent position. Well, maybe actually since the first minute of the first half. Don't forget, guys, at 5:15, Chris will be back with the Spurs Chat podcast, so keep an eye out for that. Well, Tell just plays a horrible pass there. But you see what he was trying to do, and he wins the ball back. Good lad, Tell. And he's coming towards the box and then tries to step over and loses the ball, whereas Eza then puts his foot on the ball, shows his strength, wins a free kick. That showed the difference there. No point paying £55 million for Tell if you could put 55, 60 million in for Eza. But I think the problem is Eza will have better options. I think he'll go to like a Man City or, I don't know, maybe if we get the Champions League, he could see his opportunity to be an absolute hero here, but who knows? Sorry, there's no graphics, by the way, guys. Bit of a technical issue, but Tottenham are 1-0 down to Palace. Should be 5-0 down. Sarr trying to put a press on. Ball goes back to Henderson. Palace don't even have Wharton. He's a lovely player. He's not fit. Oh, Basuma. High foot, nearly stamped on a player's head there. And then shouted at the referee, not that wise. And I think he's going to get booked. Oh, Basuma, what are you doing? So dangerous. Nearly stamped on Will Hughes' head and then shouted at the ref. What an idiot. Deary me. Oh, Archie Gray won the ball in midfield there. That was good. Now Basuma bets his foot on it. Plays it to the right to Porro. He's closed down straight away, but gets it out wide to Odebear, who's in the box here. This is a decent opportunity. Chance for a shot for Porro. And now there's a transition. And Eza and Palace have 3 forward here. And they're in. They're in with one pass. Spence working back. They've still got it, Palace. It's going to be a goal. Oh, my God. 2-0. So easy. Eza again. And I laughed. Literally, one pass in a transition got them in. And I'm telling you, Spurs might end up losing like 6 here. I laughed. So easy. It's just Eza was the one with the pass that got in behind. Then Spence does work back to try and get to the man, but puts in a half-hearted ball. And then it's just like no one goes with their runner. Basuma, Gray, nobody went with their runners down the middle. And so Eza's just there. Easy. One pass in the box. Yeah, co-commentator saying no one tracking back. This could be really ugly.
Lines this week for winning a chess tournament. Except 3 moves ahead of Tottenham this afternoon.
Oh, Palace are in again down the right. Oh, they're in. And he takes an early shot and then Kinski saves it. Oh, God. What happened here? Just one pass. Our line's on the halfway line. Christ alive. Long throw from Palace. Flicked on at the near post, and Kinski has to make a save at the near post. Christ alive. Let's see what they're saying on X. Russ Williams says, so easy pass. Forget Bilbao, this is totally unacceptable. Spurs not even second best. Marcus Buckland says, final on the horizon or not, this is incredibly poor from Spurs. I agree. Yeah, and this will be the 20th league defeat of the season out of 30, well, 36. Here comes the corner. Oh, easy front post header from Sarr. And actually, if he'd got that on target, he would have scored because Kinski fell over into his own goal. What happened there? Deary me. Kev Dancer now trying to bring the ball out. Oh, he gets a bit lucky with a deflection, then puts his foot on it down the right-hand side. He's totally on his own, Kev. Oliver loses it, and now it comes straight back. And Archie Gray gives away a foul. This is men against boys here. I think we're getting to the point where we're going to have to hope the Palace take it easy on us a little bit. Oh, Kinski comes out for a free kick, and he claims that well. Good lad. Gets a round of applause. He's trying to do things quickly. I'm not sure anyone else wants him to in the team anyway. Porro's still on the pitch. He must be having nightmares. Oliver gives it back to him. Oh, Porro gives it to Odebear, who loses it. Mitchell deals with it, and now they're in down the left with Eza. That should be a Spurs throw. Oh, and Spurs have gone down to 17th at the moment. Let's have a look at that. What are the other scores then? West Ham are winning at Old Trafford. That's why. Forest have turned it around against Leicester. They're 2-1 up. Well, all you Spurs fans who've been saying for years, I'd be happy to finish 17th and win a trophy. Well, you might get that. You might finish 17th and not win anything. Archie Gray's got no confidence in this midfield. Oh, Odebear's going to take his man on here, I think, down the line. Yeah, he does. Good pace from Odebear. Gets a good cross in. Chance! Oh, it's good defending at the back post. Nearly fell to Mikey Moore. That was good from Odebear. That was Spurs' best play. Oh, good cross from Porro. Oh, and it's Sarr should score, but it's maybe ahead of him. Oh, he should score, Sarr. Oh, he just couldn't get his neck around it. That was the best couple of passages of play from Spurs in the entire game. Now Palace go long, flicked on. Oh, but lost in midfield by Mikey Moore. And Eza, lots of space on the left-hand side. Comes in narrow, then goes back round to the left, comes in narrow again, opens the ball out to Will Hughes. And Palace are in again down the side. Spence gets a bit of a block on it. Hughes brings it back. Oh, it's just so easy for Palace. But we're forcing them back a bit now. And then they play a good ball into midfield and back out again to Lacroix. He's a good player. Comes to Mitchell down the left into Eza. Danso being given the run around by Eza here. Drops it off to Gay. Palace just are laying it round us at the moment. Oh, but then they kick it off the pitch. Sonny's coming on. Cute. You like scoring against Palace, Sonny, but have to do something pretty magic here. Porro comes off. That's good. And the fans give Sonny a lovely reaction to that. In what has not been a lovely day. 57 minutes gone. Oh, good play there from Tell, I think it was. No, Odebear, maybe. The ball comes out to Sonny on the right, weirdly. You don't see that very often. And he gets it into Mikey Moore. He's also on the right here. And he tries to give it back to Son, but Sonny was running away from him, unfortunately. What's happened here? What are those players both doing on the right? Tell on the left. No, it looks like Son's going in the 9. Tell on the left. Moore on the right with Odebear playing in the 10 now. Okay, at least he's changed something up a little bit. Maybe that'll excite them. Oh, Mateta does really well, but actually Spence does well. That's the best thing Spence done today. Now he's driving forward. Go on, Jed. This is what you're actually good at and what you love. He's still driving, Jed. Good lad. Keep going. And then gets it out wide to Tell. Tell cuts it back. He might try and get across in here. No, he finds Odebear outside the box. Goes backwards, unfortunately, to Sarr. But this is better from Spurs. Archie Gray now. Archie Gray is going to right back. Okay, so that makes sense. He'll be more comfortable there as well. A bit more kind of square pegs in square holes. Oh, and then a poor ball down the line, unfortunately. And now 3 subs for Palace. Chilwell coming on and Ketia coming on. So currently, as it stands, Tottenham Hotspur 17th in the Premier League. And West Ham are 2-0 up at Old Trafford. Let's see what the team is that United picked there. Pretty strong, actually. Bruno playing, Mainu playing, Lenny Yoro started, Mount, Hoyland, Ahmad. But they're 2-0 down. And as a result, Man United are 16th, Tottenham are 17th, and the Europa League will be the 17th in the Premier League derby, the Europa League final. Anyway, Spurs running into the box. Oh, nothing really came of that. Or if it did, I didn't see it because it buffered. Kinski on the ball. I hope that some of those changes for Palace might disrupt their rhythm as well, and we can maybe get a bit of a foothold. It's Mateta, Lerma, and Mitchell who've gone off. And Ketia, Kamada, and Ben Chilwell on. Archie Gray now getting on the ball and right back. He gives and goes to Mikey Moore, and Mikey drives, turns away. Oh, he's done well here, Mikey. He's going to have to try and turn away and win something here. He gets a throw in. Good stuff from Mikey Moore down the right. I actually really liked him on the right when he played against Ferencvaros. He was very direct, driving off the right-hand side, narrow. And that was where he had his best game, I thought. Actually, great. Throws it to Odebear. Good turn from Odebear. Lovely stuff. Oh, and tries to put Mikey in, but not quite. And then Odebear second to a 50-50, which you'd expect. Good challenge from Archie Gray. Gets a good round of applause. And then Mikey Moore does really well. Really well for Mikey. Wins the ball back off Ben Chilwell, the England international. And Spurs fans getting behind the team a little bit here. They've got young guns on the pitch and all in better positions. Odebear again. Nice little stuff to Sonny, who tries to slip Odebear back in, but no dice. And then Spence wins it back. And Spurs win it high with Tell, who tries the ball between the lines to Sarr. Palace deal with it and goes back to Henderson, who goes to Gay. And he goes to Chilwell pretty simply. And he just kicked it off there, Chilwell. That should be a Spurs throw, but no. It's Chilwell with the throw. He's just creeping up the line. He stole about 20 yards there, Chilwell. And then Spence just run under the ball in central midfield. And one pass should put Palace in a good situation here. And here it comes. Yep, they're in. Basuma does well to cover. Goes back to Kinski's. First touch is heavy, to say the least. Oof. Well, the second one kind of saved him, I guess. But oh, and then Palace keep the ball on, but he's offside. Yeah, so it's passed back to Kinski from Biss, and his first touch, Kinski, was so heavy. And he could have easily given away a penalty because the second touch was a 50-50. Anyway, it's a free kick to Spurs because of an offside. And Kinski's going to kick this long, which I think is stupid because we haven't got anyone on the pitch who can win any high ball. And we've just literally, for the first time in the last few minutes, got some good passages of play together. But there you go. That's Tottenham. And there it is. We lose it in midfield. And lose it 3 times in midfield. And Ben Davies gives away a free kick in a dangerous area. And that's because of bad decision making, I think, from Kinski there. There you go. Ezra's going to take this free kick. Will Hughes there as well. Spurs keeping their line on the 18-yard line. Will Hughes runs over it. Here comes the free kick from Ezra. Comes to the back post. First header won by Palace, of course. Spence underneath it. And just hacks it out for a corner. Yeah, the co-commentator's talking about it as well. Another set play where the first contact was from a Palace player. It's been like that all game. So easy for them. Oh dear. Only 25 minutes left. So that's something. Ezra with the corner. Goes deep again. Oh, and that time actually Sarr did get the first touch on it, but then he gives the ball away, unfortunately. And then a free cross for Palace. Oh, and cleared by Danto at the back, but it comes to Ezra. He puts in Lacroix down the left, but good defending from Danso. Goal kick Spurs. This time, Kinski goes short, comes to Gray. Oh dear, he kicks it straight out play. He's not had a great game, old Archie, unfortunately. He's a kid, though. He's a kid. He'll be all right. Oh, Gay there with a good crossfield ball. Oh, good turn on the edge of the box. Chance for Palace for a shot. Wide. From Sarr, I think that is, yeah. Well wide in the end. Ginski was pretty comfortable. Ginski plays it out to Spence, who comes to Davis, who has to go long. And we will lose this in midfield. Yep. Just two passes straight to Ezra. They're in down the left. Cross to Ezra. In the box. Danso did well. Shot. Oh, and they should score again. But they don't. Sarr misses a header from 6 yards out. I think he probably would have been offside anyway. So embarrassing. Still Spurs 0, Palace 2. Should be Spurs 0, Palace 8. Kinski goes short to Danso. Not a great first touch, so he goes back to Kinski. He's got it stuck under his feet. Gives another dodgy one to Danso. Goes down the line to Gray. He has to turn away and chip it straight off the pitch. And Glasner applauds his men for their press. And Archie Gray, like the lamb to the slaughter, made to look dodgy. Spurs give away a free kick straight away. Bissouma this time. And they cut to Levy. He doesn't look happy. Donna Cullen behind him. Another yes person. Dangerous area for this free kick for Ezra. Eza straight into the arms of Kinski. Got good hands, Kinski, for the most part. Great. Doesn't really want it at the moment. Gives it to Davis. Goes down the line into Tell. Goes back to Davis. To Kinski. To Gray. And that's a good ball from Kinski because it's in front of Gray and he can drive forward now. Oh, and he plays another poor ball. He's having a nightmare, I'm afraid, Archie Gray. Feel for him. Just Palace got options all over the pitch. Tottenham do not, because they're not working hard enough. Oh. Well, Basuma does well there in midfield. Ball down the line to Tell. Lovely touch from Tell. Odobert. He's up against 5 people, but he slips in Sonny, and Mikey Moore's at the back post if he can cross it. And Sonny took too long. He's offside anyway. Yeah, Sonny was offside. Good defending from Lacroix. He's a good player. Hughes out muscles Tell, but Tell keeps working. Spence passes it backwards. Davis to Biss. Biss tries the pass but kicks it off the pitch. 71 minutes gone. Tottenham 0, Crystal Palace 2. And Davis trying to bring the ball forward. Gets into Tell, but he loses out. Another throw for Spurs. Well, Spence taking players on. I like that. He's giving the ball away. Good football from Spurs. Finds Odobert, but he loses out. Sonny pressing Henderson, the keeper. He goes long. Oh, Basuma does beautifully. And Spence does well in a little 50-50 as well. Well done, Jed. He just wants to take people on now, Jed, and I don't mind it. He finds Tell out wide left. Tell's driving. He's got 3 Palace players around, but he finds Son, who unfortunately lets the ball run over his feet. Shot for Odobert. Blocked. And now, oh, I thought Eza was going to be on the transition there, but Archie Gray did well. Finds Sarr. Can't believe Sarr's really on the pitch. And then Odobert turns his man, does well, gets to the byline, and it was fouled there. He was fouled by Chilwell. Chilwell's been dyeing his hair blonde, weirdly. Henderson throws it out to Chilwell. Oh, picked off in midfield by Biss. Tell. Oh, good. He wins a free kick just about. Yeah, it's a free kick. Maybe 10, 15 yards outside the box. Oh, Sonny's over it. I don't know why I was annoyed about that. He does score a lot of these for South Korea, but this is too far out, I'd say. This is 33 yards out. Is he going to shoot selfishly from here? Or is he going to cross? He crosses it. And it's headed over his own bar by one of the defenders, Gay, and that is a corner to Spurs. Just Tottenham's third corner of the game. Slightly improved, I'd say, since the subs. Slightly. Here comes the corner. Cleared by Palace. Alderben now facing his own goal, being pressed. So Spence knocks it over, and Henderson claims. And Henderson wants to do this quick. And he throws it out to the right back. "20 attempts from Palace, 9 on target, 7 from Spurs, 1 on target." It's been a crucifixion, this game. Oh, lovely dummy from Eze. Oh, and then Spurs would dance, I think. Loses it in midfield. What's he doing there? Oh, Palace are playing some lovely stuff here. And then they kick it straight off the pitch. Confidence going through Palace is unbelievable. United still 2-0 down to West Ham. How is that a Palace throw?
Getting ready to be introduced.
Get the full set piece lowdown, where your positions are, corners, free kicks.
Don't know how that's a Palace throw. Excuse me. Something must have happened during a replay or cutaway. Anyway, they go for the long throw. It's really long as well. Davis clears the first one. And then the thrower just lets it go out so he can do another one. Boring. This game is so boring. Cleared, and then the ball goes out to him again. Is he going to let that off? No, he keeps it on. To Richards. Dummy's Jed Spence. And then Spence blocks the cross, and the Palace fans just taking the piss out of Spurs at the moment.
Too much joy at this stadium, or the old Wi-Fi playing. The team is on course for the perfect send off to that one. I know another player that will no doubt be proud part of that Saturday is coming off. Disallowed goal in the first half. 2 Crystal Palace disallowed goals. Say the joint for Millwall. There's a chance.
Essa comes on for Palace. Another long throw. 13 minutes left. Normal time. Tottenham 0, Palace 2. Here comes a long throw. Comes to the edge of the box. Oh, Tottenham managed to go backwards. Will Hughes has a shot. Breaks to Palace. Every ball breaking to Palace, of course. They chip it to the far post and head it over the bar. Nketiah. He'd love to score against Spurs, wouldn't he? Oh, God. Now, Palace pressing us back to Kinski. Plays a good ball out to Spence. He flicks it on down the line, but straight to Will Hughes. And then it's not been a good day for Jed. It's not been a good day for Archie Gray. Sarr has been on the pitch the whole time, but hardly in it. As Sonny now presses Henderson, but Palace just knock it around. Oh, lovely play in midfield. Just dummies away from one of ours. Munoz plays it over the top to Nketiah. Tell you what, he could have headed over Kinski there, but he chose to try and take it down. Spence. What is that ball? Tries to find Mikey Moore, but not a good ball. Gay deals with it easily back to Henderson. Henderson to Chilwell, who drives into midfield. Sonny can't get near him. To Eze. Fronts his man up, Archie Gray. And goes backwards. So easy for Palace, my God.
Buys himself a split second all the time. It's like a trademark of the top player. Get out of any muddle with the ball when it's really tight.
Spurs trying to press now, so Palace just chip it into midfield. It comes to Danso. Can he find a decent pass? No option. Finds Biss. Let's go back to Danso. He's now being pressed by Eze. Pushes him over. Danso used his body well there, to be fair. Spence on the ball now. Tries to beat his man. And gets it back at the second attempt. He's just being a bit selfish here. Spence just trying to beat players all the time. But it comes to Odebear outside the box now. And he finds Mikey Moore on the edge of the box. He's got Gray outside him. He finds Gray. Gray tries to cross it, but Palace easily able to deal with it. One pass to Eze. He tries to beat Basuma, but Basuma does well. Goes back to Ben Davis. Gives it back to Biss. 10 minutes to go. Archie Gray. Mikey Moore just keeps the ball on. Or not, apparently, but he did, I think. Apparently there's a VAR check, but don't know what for. Here we go. No, just hits his shoulder.
Top of the handball situation in the Premier League, very different to European football. Decisions that are being given for the ball are pretty incredible sometimes. They've had enough.
Spurs fans leaving, rightly so. Oh, Palace, so much space. Go on the right for Palace. Eight minutes to go. Oh, Spurs have won the ball up high. Tell now. Driving forward. He's got men around him though, as ever. Comes narrow. Can he give it off to Odebear? Spurs have got men here now. Sonny on the right. Oh, he doesn't know what to do. He's surrounded by Palace players. So eventually goes to Archie Gray. Doesn't put him in a great position. And his cross goes easily into the hands. That was of Henderson. That was Son there, really looking indecisive. Palace, I'm telling you, I said it at half time. Great advert for Glasner. Goes back to Henderson. He'll go long. He does. Danso into Basuma. Goes across to Spence. Tries to put Tell in down the left, but it's a bit of a heavy ball. Tell can't keep it on. He worked hard to try to, though, Tell, to be fair.
CrystalPalace have done it today. There's the goals. There's a goal.
Yeah, the right-hand side's been exploited massively. Munoz, who shares the ball nicely there after a previous one, which wasn't so nice. You can see that onside automated decision and simpler finishes, and he hasn't had to work hard in the finishes. It's more about getting into the right areas of the pitch, and he's done that brilliantly.
Says touch about 43 touches today in this game.
See how he likes operating on the left, can't you? Just coming in onto the
Oh,
cruise to the end of this game.
yeah. Co-commentators just saying how Palace have cruised through this game, like completely. It's just been, should have been about 6-0. Oh, some good football from Spurs there. Son getting fouled. And then a ball comes out to Mikey Moore. He's got a bit of space to run into. He's getting closed down, though. He tried to, it comes to Gray. Gray tries the cut back, and again, easily cleared. Counter press doesn't quite work. Kamada tries the big... Oh, so much space on the right for Palace. My God. Papsar puts some work in. Does well, actually, there, Papsar. 85th minute. Danso to Davis. To Biss. Back to Danso. Let's have a look at those. Well, Davis tries a ball over the top to Son, but Henderson comes out and deals with it. Yeah, United still losing 2-0, so West Ham will jump Spurs and United. Spurs in 17th place tonight. Oh, Spurs win a free kick on the edge of the box.
Will be replaced here.
4 minutes to go, and hopefully then the referee puts us out of our misery and doesn't put too much on top of that. Well, Basuma loses the ball midfield. He does at least work back and gives away a free kick. Alice just knocking it about. Gay goes inside. The ball goes all the way out wide right. This season in the Premier League has been humiliating for Tottenham Hotspur. So bizarre. You can be 17th in the league and in a Europa League final. Only Tottenham, man. Only fucking Tottenham. And Palace just olaying the ball around. Oh, Nezo with his first bad ball of the game. Spence picks it off. Goes back to Kinski. He'll have to get rid of that. And he does. Kicks it down towards Tell. Of course, he's going to get beaten in the air, as he has done all game. Palace start again. Oh, terrible pass though. And can Tell get a foot in that? No, he can't. They got away with it, Palace. Archie Gray picks off a pass and then gives a horrible pass. He's just, I feel for Archie Gray, but he's had an absolute stinker. And in a way, I'm not sure if it's better that Anne just kept him on or maybe kind of saved him a bit. But so far to me, in his Spurs career, Archie Gray looks like a most natural centre half. Oh, Tell's done well. 2 against 2 here for Spurs. Tell's on the left. Gives it into Son, but it's out. It was not out of his feet. Oh, Son manages to keep it somehow. And then loses it. That showed some rustiness from Sonny there. It was good from Tell. In the last minute of the game, how much added time will he find? Hopefully none. But he'll probably find 4, I guess. Yeah, all the Spurs fans leaving.
Certainly, I haven't used to seeing Crystal Palace come away with here too much in the league.
Palace in down the right. Good cross. Cleared by Danso, who I think really is one of the few players who can hold his head up after today. 3 added minutes. Oh, Spurs give it away in the box, or outside the box. Cross comes in. Tell is fouled. Hi guys, this is my instant match review to the Tottenham Hotspur 0, Crystal Palace 2 game. And actually, I think this is going to say a lot. The game isn't even over yet. We're in the 90th minute, 91st minute. It's currently 2-0 to Crystal Palace, but it should be about 8-0. Spurs have been absolutely crucified and dominated by Crystal Palace. The game goes on, but for me, there's no point waiting for the end of it because it's just been so embarrassingly poor. And I've not wanted to be negative about anything because, of course, we're in a Europa League final. Matthias Tell has just gone down there. And that's all that matters, really. But it is just humiliating to continually watch Tottenham get dominated, especially by all these teams who have much lower budgets. Deki Kulusevski started today. He went off with an injury. He is on the bench afterwards, so hopefully he's okay. But there's really no positives that come from this game at all. And there have actually been some genuinely shocking performances. I have to call it, as I see it, Archie Gray, who started in midfield, and a lot of people have been calling for him to start in midfield all season. He's not ready for it in the Premier League. It was like men against boys, and then he was moved to right back, and I'm afraid his confidence is now completely shot. So I feel for him. Jed Spence, I think he has taken losing his first team place to Udogie in those Europa League games incredibly badly and incredibly personally. It's not the first time I've said it, but he did not look interested today. Oh, and Palace are in here, and Ketia one-on-one. Good save from Kinski. He's had to make a few saves today, Kinski. So that keeps it at 2-0 with 45 seconds to go. Yeah, not good for Jed Spence at all. He looks disinterested. He was just jogging around the pitch. Slightly better in the second half after Ange made some substitutions, brought Sonny on. I guess that's a positive. Sonny got some minutes, but he looks very rusty indeed. Had a couple of chances to get a shot out of his feet and wasn't able to do it. Mikey Moore just running into the box here. Good stuff from Mikey Moore, but just wrestled out of play in the box by Lacroix. And actually, that is a good example. All day today, and I've already mentioned it being men against boys once, just the physicality of Crystal Palace has dominated Spurs. One thing I will say, as they show Oliver Glasner getting frustrated on his bench, it's been an excellent audition for Oliver Glasner. If he is on Tottenham's list, and for me, I would have him at the top of Tottenham Hotspur's list as a potential replacement for Big Ange Postecoglou, because Premier League experience has done a great job at Crystal Palace, won the Europa League at Frankfurt, and he plays a 3-5-2 kind of 5-3-2 system as the final whistle goes, like Conte did, like Nuno did, but they actually play attacking, exciting football. And I don't look at the team 1 to 11 of Crystal Palace or the squad and think they have a better squad than Spurs, but I just think they're better organized. They all understand what they have to do wherever they are on the pitch, far better than Tottenham do. Look, this was a reserve team. We made 8 changes to it, but I'm sorry, this stuff does matter. As they show Daniel Levy getting straight on his phone, texting someone, get me Oliver Glasner's agent's number. But it does matter because we've just seen it time and time again. 20 defeats in the Premier League. Many more total. Eze today, Eberechi Eze, and Ange goes straight up to him and gives him a hug. He gave us a lesson today, not just because he scored 2 goals, but he's like Chris Waddle. He's so graceful on the ball. Fantastic player. I think we had a shot at getting him last summer, but I think it'll be too much for him now to get him. I think he'll go to somewhere who'll pay bigger wages, a Man City or a Man United or a Chelsea or something. Listen, I was determined not to be negative at all today, but Tottenham find more and more ways to get humiliated in the Premier League. And this was a home game, and we honestly, I'm not exaggerating, could and maybe should have lost 6-0. 6-0. Kinski had to make some important saves. They had 2 goals disallowed in the first half alone. And yeah, it's ugly. And of course, he's resting players. No Van der Ven, no Doggy, no Romero, and no Richarlison, no Brennan Johnson. He's resting players for that final. But I get it. I do. But Palace have got a cup final coming up too. And they played their first team. And you could just see the rhythm, how they all knew exactly what they were doing. Very impressive performance by them. And they're just showing Archie Gray now. And he looks crestfallen, to be honest. He looks absolutely crestfallen. I'm not surprised. He's just not quite ready to play in that midfield. And to play him in midfield in these kind of reserve sides where he's playing against other midfielders who are not kind of in a familiar pattern with each other and rhythmic. And Sonny now is talking to Eze. And hopefully he's saying to him, come on, Eberechi, come to Spurs. You know you want to. They're going to swap shirts after the game. Yeah, but I feel for Archie Gray. Look, I'll go through 1 to 11 and give my ratings. Kinski, there was a comment during the watch along at halftime that was like, Kinski is eccentricity 20. He did look like a rabbit in the headlights at times. He was blocked off under the high ball a few times from corners. One thing I will say is Tottenham's defending from set pieces today was absolutely abject, just losing every first and second ball. But anyway, but I'll give Kinski a 6. He did make some important saves, but also looked like he hadn't played a lot of football. That's the way I'll put it. Porro played probably 60 minutes or so. He did okay. Give him a 6. Danso, I think, is one of the few players who can hold their head up high. He was putting his head on the line all the time, so I'm going to give him a 6.5. Ben Davis, I'm going to give a 5.5. He didn't look great at all. Spence, I'm afraid I'm going to have to give a 3. Then in midfield, Sarr. My God, Pat Matar played the entire game and was basically nowhere to be seen. He had one headed chance in the second half from a good cross from Porro, but he couldn't get his head around it. I'm going to have to give Sarr a 3 or 4 as well. Bentancur started the game. I'll give him a 6. Kulusevski didn't really play enough. So, let's say that he got a 5.5. Forward line, Tell, 5. Who else even played in that forward line? I'm going to have to actually go and see who started that game now, because it was just so boring and disappointing that I couldn't remember. So Archie Gray, I'm afraid I'm going to have to give a 3. Odebear, 5. And then in terms of people who came on, Sonny, 5.5. Moore didn't really get in the game, 5.5. Bissouma, 6. So not a lot going for that performance, to say the very least. And the worry is we've got Aston Villa away on Friday. And there's no way he's going to play the players for the following Wednesday if he's not, is he? He's not going to play Van der Ven and Romero. We might get torn an absolute new one at Villa Park, because they are properly chasing Champions League places, and we have a game, a European Cup final, 5 days later. Here are the stats. 23 shots to Crystal Palace, 8 to Spurs. Expected goals, 3.39 Crystal Palace, 0.68 Spurs. Possession, 53-47. That seems like it should be way more. Distance covered, 95 kilometers Palace, 2 kilometers more than Spurs. Honestly, just not good at all. And it'll be games like this, I'm afraid. I know everyone will be thinking, oh, there's nothing on it, but it's the 20th time this season. And it's games like this, and of course the injury record, that will make it, even if Ange does find a way to win that final, that will make it very difficult for him to keep his job. And I feel for him, but when we play, and it's been a thing with Spurs for a long time, when we play these kind of mix and match teams, or 8 changes or whatever, it never goes well for Tottenham. We've done it in Europe down the years a number of times, but today, honestly, it was like we were like the under 10s. And Palace were like men. Deary me. One of the most depressing games to watch probably in my life as a Spurs fan. And we were all saying after last week's West Ham game, weren't we? That was one of the worst games to watch ever in the Premier League. Well, this was one of the worst ever games to watch as a Spurs fan, as we let a team like Crystal Palace, very much a mid-table team, but who are very well organised, done really well in an FA Cup final, but we let them rip us a complete new one. And very, very fortunate to not be on the end of a scoreline that would be genuinely embarrassing for the club, for Ange Postecoglou, for everyone. But let's try and end it with some positives. We are in a European final in a week and a half's time. It won't be this team playing. And the team that do play in those European games have shown that when they try and when they win that 11 together, they are a match for a better teams than us. That result away at Frankfurt proves that. And it is exciting. It is exciting at the thought of winning that trophy. But either way, you have to say, can you imagine us in the Champions League next season? Christ alive. If you saw that semi-final, Inter Barca, can you imagine either of those teams playing us at the moment? I mean, I know this isn't our first team, but dearie me. And I'll just end by saying what I said already. Great audition for Oliver Glasner if he's on the list. I could see Daniel Levy going for him. Would he want to come to Spurs? I don't know. Great audition for Eze, but I think he'll go elsewhere. But yeah, Tottenham 0, Crystal Palace 2. Could have been about 12. And just 2 Premier League games left to endure for Spurs. And of course, other than those, the big one. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Do press like on this video. Do subscribe to the channel. Come on, you Spurs. All right, guys. We're not actually having a fan show today because, not surprisingly, nobody really wanted to talk about this even before the game. So I'm pretty sure even if we had any calls lined up, nobody would want to talk about it after the game either. But I'll go through some comments briefly. Grayson P says Glasner needs the gig. John Thurgood says imposter, no clue, his time is up. Let me just change that banner to that. Don't forget, guys, by the way, obviously the Spurs Chat podcast is later with Chris. Oh, no, I can't put that one up because that says Bodo Glimt. So there you go. Stupid old me. Apologies. Reader Road says, poor mid-table players, proper wasted money. Odeberg, Gray, Tell, Headless Chicken, Sarr, another useless Headless Chicken. How's Davies still at the club? Stephen Hurlo says we'd be cannon fodder for the likes of Barcelona, Milan, PSG, etc. That's true. Adrian Cherney says we are beyond abysmal. If we had the same shockingly poor squad and manager next season, we'd be relegated. Don't disagree with that. Spurs are now officially in 17th place. 38 points. The maximum we could get, and we won't get it, is 44 points this season. Absolutely shameful to be in 17th place. Man United in 16th place. Matthew Walker says, have Spurs the balls to sack Ange and appoint Adolf Hutter? I think he'd be a decent appointment, better than Ange, but we'd have to be really careful with typos. I don't know anything about him. Gino La says, will be 21 losses come Friday. Yes, it will. Machina Joe says, Postecoglou is an embarrassment. James says, Spence was playing quite well against average Prem teams. Everyone said he was brilliant, but he's far from it. Stephen Garland says, please don't play Sonny in the final. Meme Hook says, what the absolute F was that? Mike Chase says, abysmal passing, ball control and everything else. Regards, Daniel Goy says, Gray 2 weak, Odegaard and Tell awful. Midfield 2 weak, Davies bounced off Mateta. Danson, Wank, Sarr, Headless Chicken, but apart from that, we were great. Krill says, we won't beat United, not without Maddison, trust me. Brian McCloskey, I think someone said Silva from Fulham, and he wasn't happy with that. Complex says, shows how low quality football it is in Greece and Australia. Mike Warmington asks, how did the protests go? Ginola says, Eze is class miles better than our attacks in midfield. That's true. Brian McCloskey, it says, it's a dead rubber. The result is irrelevant. Why don't you understand? I know the answer is probably winning something. Must be because anyone who doesn't get that should go back to the... Oh, dear. That was a poor ending to that one, Brian. Mr. Nevermind says, this will be the worst season ever. Can says, our defense line was terrible. I think we only need a good right winger. Then we're good to go. Semenyo would be nice, for example. Yeah, I thought we could have got Semenyo last year, but we're a bit late on some of these players. Ash says, why would any professional footballer want to come to Spurs? There are 16 teams with better chances of winning silverware. Well, I think we've got a pretty good chance of winning silverware, though, haven't we, in a couple of weeks? Tino says, you want Eze, he played great against the second 11. You can only play against what's in front of you. He was great, and he's been great for absolutely ages, I would say. Ginola says, if Son starts the final, it'll be the same mistake as starting an unfit Kane in Champions League final 6 years ago. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Well, I'm hopeful that maybe that's why he's resting Richarlison. I think Sonny could be good potentially to come off the bench in the final. Jason says, only positive is Son is back. Hope he can play just one good game in the final, then he can leave with something. Listen, it's all a bit frustrating and negative, isn't it? Listen, if you'd like to be a part of a future Spurs fan show after a future game, please email tottenhamfanchris@gmail.com. That's tottenhamfanchris@gmail.com. The sun is out, guys. I think let's try and get off the negative train here. Do tune in on Chris's channel for the Spurs chat podcast at about 5:15. He'll be joined by Lee Dorset Spur, Leo the Lion, and Cy the Fox. Also, make sure you subscribe to Chris's channel if you're not already. It's at Chris Cowlin on YouTube. And also do join the Match Bingo app. You can see the QR code in the top right-hand corner. Let's hope for a better performance against Aston Villa, but I'm sure we won't get it because, let's face it, all that matters is next Thursday. Come on, you Spurs.